back to Sports Plus Passion. I'm your host, Brana Marks. First things first, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you comment, show all your support that you can. Also, make sure you head over to sportsaldente.com and take a listen to West Coast Mix and Bounce, my podcast with California-based Leslie Torres. Again, that is sportsaldente.com, West Coast Mix and Bounce podcast. Also available on iTunes and Spotify. All right, guys, let's hop into topic number one, the AAF. If you haven't heard of the AAF, it's the Alliance of American Football. And no, it is not a part of the NFL, but it's also not competing with the NFL. Unlike other leagues that have sprouted up in the past years, like the XFL and the United States Football League, which both tanked, the AAF, I believe, is going to have a different outcome. I think they have already taken off, been so organized. They brought in 2.9 million views on CBS on their inaugural game evening, where they had two games lined up. Now, both those games were different, and they showed different aspects of the AAF as far as who team is really prepared, who's meshing really well, and who kind of still has a little bit way to go. The general average, I believe, is that they have plenty of potential and they have the right people and the right connects to get to where they need to be as far as having a long and loyal fan base. So let's dig a little deeper. Let's look at the difference between the NFL and the AAF. So there are obviously rule differences. The AAF does not have a kickoff. Mike Martz, the head coach of the San Diego Fleet, actually said in the press conference that he's glad about that rule because most of his players he has seen injured often get injured within the kick return or kick off, which is true because you have a lot of players just basically running at each other. So there's really no safety protocol there. The AAF has initiated that rule to help players avoid injuries and for its organization basically to be safer because these players are trying to get back into the NFL. Most of these rosters, if you look at them, are not just, high school heroes. They're not guys in their 30s and 40s just trying to live out their dream. No, these are professional young athletes who were either in a D1 school, put up stats. These are guys who have worked hard and just need that little extra push to either stick to the NFL because a lot of them have been there and just couldn't stick, couldn't stay. This is giving them a second chance. Most of these guys honestly deserve a second chance rather than guys in the NFL. But we won't get into that topic. So the AAF has 8 teams. There's San Antonio, there's Orlando, there's Memphis, there's Arizona, there's San Diego, and Salt Lake City. Those 8 teams spread out throughout the country. Every fan base kind of has somebody to cheer for. The Apollos and the Legends got a lot of attention because their score was 40-6. It looks like Orlando is definitely meshing well and knows how to get in the touchdown zone with their decorated coach Steve Spurrier, who was trending because he ran a trick play called the Philly Special, which is a classic for him, and people were excited to see that. Die-hard football fans already know who these guys are, already rooting for them, and are ready to really see them again because even a lot of these coaches have kind of slipped in to the abyss almost. It's not like these guys are unknown and they have respect already. Besides rule changes and big names, they're also innovative. They are plugging sensors into the players' shoulder pads to catch live action play. They are recording stats, transferring the movement over to their app where you can actually play fantasy football live and in action and you don't have to wait to see what happens, which for fantasy players I'm sure is extremely excited. I am not one of those people, but I think it's great. I think it's definitely going to stick with a large group of people. They're attracting everybody there. They're attracting the geeks, older fans, the younger fans, because a lot of these guys, most of them are local to wherever their team is. So a lot of people who they knew in college are coming. It's just overall a well-organized alliance. They are also having huge plays. That 40-6 game, you may not see that a lot, but the big plays that are coming out of these games is like, okay, these guys really know how to play football and they really know how to be entertaining. Because I mean, come on, why are you watching a sports game? For it to be entertaining. In the Commanders game, it was a little questionable of the hit that happened on the quarterback for San Diego. His helmet actually flew off. I think NFL people would be shocked at that because obviously somebody would have threw a flag for something. But things may change after looking at that. There was no initial reaction. There wasn't a call. Right now, you can definitely expect to see rough football and big hits. And you can also expect to see sacks and excitement and energy and interceptions. And talking about interceptions, I have to give a shout out to Orion Stewart. He is a former Baylor defensive player. He had a huge interception totaling 68 yards. Exciting alone to see. As a football fan, as an aspiring sports reporter, and as a Baylor Bear, you know, they struck all three sides of my heart basically, and they're doing that to other people as well. They're connecting people to their community and to what they're passionate about. These are smart people who are running the Alliance of American Football. So if you haven't checked it out, make sure you go check it out next week, because I guarantee you, after all the hype they got this past weekend, next weekend is definitely going to be even more exciting, and it's going to gather even more fans to kind of see what is this, like what's kind of going on here. Jumping into topic number 2, the Anthony Davis trade that did not happen. The Lakers were left with basically nothing after this hyped up dramatic trade deadline. Even Magic Johnson came out and was like, well, I'm just gonna give them a hug. They put almost every player out there with some money, with some draft picks. The Pelicans, I think, honestly played them a little bit. Kind of makes the Lakers look a little sad. They're sad right now. They're not producing what they want to produce as far as wins, and their players they're feeling it. How can you not? You know, you have all this pressure to win. You're expected to be cohesive and work together, and on the court, it's just kind of like, sometimes yes, sometimes no. It's hard that they didn't get Anthony Davis. They did pick up Reggie Bullock from the Pistons, and they also got Mike Muscala from the Clippers, who had a way bigger trade scenario going on before the deadline. They gave up their star player, Tobias Harris, to the 76ers to get Landry Shamet and Wilson Chandler. They also got Michael Beasley from the Lakers, who they waived afterwards. It looks like the Clippers are even more of a potential option for Anthony Davis because they're moving players around a lot. I'm sad to see Tobias Harris go. If it results in something bigger, then it's definitely worth it. But for right now, I'm kind of shaky. And the Lakers, they are still shaky as well. There's no big hoopla as far as them going on a win streak after the trade deadline or anything like that. LeBron is still underproducing. He is definitely not front of the line as far as scoring. He's probably honestly still recovering from his injury, and it's gonna take him a little while to get back to where he needs to be. Kuzma, who's putting up 40 points almost. Rajon Rondo, who is hitting buzzer beaters, but other than those two big games, they're getting blown out. Against the 76ers, they got blown out by at least 20 points. They lost a tough one to the Warriors. LeBron was out. It's still looking extremely unbalanced for the Lakers. Reggie Bullock did start against the 76ers, but he did not produce offensively, and he was on top of JJ Redick. He held him to 21 points. The Lakers definitely have a long way to go, and they definitely are going to have to rethink their whole trade idea. That's all I have. Thank you again for tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, etc. Go visit sportsaldente.com. Google West Coast Mix and Bounce on iTunes and Spotify. Whatever floats your boat. Make sure you tune in within the next 2 weeks for a new episode of Sports Plus Passion. Thank you guys.